Hello. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Monsi. Thanks for joining and welcome all to the worldwide premiere of the 12th episode of the Build Your Path series, Energy Engineer. In this video, we hear from Stephanie and Monsi. Stephanie is an energy engineer with Limbach, and we're going to talk about the impact that her role has on the built environment and the environment in general. So please stick around after the video because we'll have a Q&A with our sponsor and Stephanie and both Monsi. So please feel free to ask any questions, give comments. We'll be able to answer them live. And you may see your comment or question on the screen. And now let's get to our premiere.
Hello, my name is Stephanie Gonzalez. I am an energy engineer with Limbach. I help reduce energy in buildings, commercial buildings, residential buildings, and I've been doing it for 5 years in the DC, Maryland, and Virginia area. I am originally from Mexico. I was born in Mexico City and raised in Cuernavaca, Morelos. My first job was in an electronic manufacturing company in Mexico. Seeing all the electronic waste in the plant is what got me interested in the environmental impact of projects and processes. And then in the US, I had some internships in the energy industry, and that's how I got into energy and never wanted to leave. So what's an energy engineer and why are we important? Energy engineers have a broad field. We can be in energy production, in energy reduction use in buildings, in campuses. We can also be in the renewable energy industry. In short, we contribute to a greener world by finding ways of saving energy in every building. I think my job is the best in the built environment because the impact is bigger than myself, bigger than a building. It's literally the planet.
Before we go any further, let's talk about this episode's sponsor, Limbach. Founded in 1901 as a small sheet metal roofing company in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Limbach has evolved into a prominent industry leader with 19 strategically positioned locations and over 1,300 dedicated employees spanning the eastern United States. Limbach is a leading building system solution firm partnering closely with building owners and facilities managers entrusted with mission-critical mechanical, electrical, and plumbing infrastructure. Their team members uniquely combine engineering expertise with field installation skills to provide custom solutions that leverage their full lifecycle capabilities, allowing Limbach to address both the operational and capital project needs of their customers. At Limbach, the focus and impact lie in minimizing facility downtime, enhancing energy efficiency, and reducing overall operation costs. Their commitment extends beyond the bottom line. Limbach aims to benefit not only their customers, but also the environment and community as a whole.
So we can break down what I do in two categories. The first one is what I do in the office, and the second one what I do in the field. The way I collaborate internally with other colleagues in Limbach, I work a lot with special project managers and sellers, especially on the sales portion of the project. I have developed internal tools to help them identify ways to save energy, comparing equipment with different efficiency ratings, implement controls measures or operation and maintenance measures that will help the building save energy. Once the project is sold, then I collaborate a lot with the engineering team to consider the energy aspect of projects in a day-to-day basis.
So our core focus at Limbach is healthcare, laboratories, and industry. All of those customers are focused on reducing their footprint on the environment and how much energy they're using. Having someone such as Stephanie Gonzalez help develop those energy solutions is key to our business supporting those customers and getting those customers. And that allows us to get more work with them, to increase the sales we have with them, and increase our bottom line as a business.
The second category of what I do with customers on the field side, I go for walkthroughs, site visits, and I try to find ways to save energy in the building. One example is a project we are working with GW. It's a residence hall.
So we selected Limbach to work with us on our res hall. We really needed a leader who will help us support the expanding needs of our campus. So in this building, we are adding more capacity. Adding more capacity means more heating, more cooling, more hot water, and also more ventilation needs.
The initial thought was we need a bigger chiller. But when we did the building model, we realized they didn't need to go for a bigger chiller, they could stay with the same size. Once we received the quotes from different vendors, I helped the team to compare the energy efficiency ratings of each chiller that we received, and then we translate that to CO2 emissions, and we come up with the best recommendation with the customer.
So an organization like us has a large portfolio. Having a large portfolio of buildings means that we are producing a lot of carbon emissions, and we need to be responsible about the usage of it. So an energy engineer can find sustainable solutions in a fiscally responsible way because they're considering many items like avoided costs, the rebates, and things like that that really help understand what is the cost of operating the building after the project is completed.
And this is what we do as energy engineers. We identify ways to save energy in buildings for customers to save energy, save costs, and contribute to the efforts of climate change. So, come build your path.
Come build your path.
Make an impact.
If you're passionate about climate change and solving problems, join me as an energy engineer. Make a direct impact in your community and contribute to a better world in the built environment.
Have any questions? Comment below and we'll do our best to help. Be sure to check out our links in the description as well. Build Your Path is a vital resource for you as you look for answers on your next steps. Let's build your path together.
There you have it. It's the premiere of our newest episode of the Build Your Path series. Energy engineer. I'm Jennifer Dweese. I'm the president of the Maryland Center for Construction Education and Innovation. We're the nonprofit behind the Build Your Path series. Our mission is to inspire, educate, and connect a diverse population to careers in the built environment. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm joined here today by our very own Stephanie Gonzalez of Limbach and Mansi Talwar of GW University. Now, before we get to the Q&A portion, we met both of you online, but would you mind taking a second to introduce yourselves?
Sure, I can start. I'm Stephanie Gonzalez. I'm an energy engineer with Limbach.
How long have
be here?
And how long have you been with Limbach?
A year and in a few months. In the industry, about 5 years.
Wonderful. Nancy?
Hi, great video, by the way. It's very motivating. My name is Mansi Talwar, Executive Director for Utilities, Energy, and Engineering here at GW. And I've been here for a little less than 4 years. And I've had the privilege to work with Stephanie for a very long time.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think obviously we got a glimpse into how the two of you work together, everything. But from what I understand, you guys have worked together previously before you're both in your current roles. If you wouldn't mind, do you feel comfortable sharing that with the team, like how you met? And I think one thing that we love to share at Build Your Path is the way that your careers can evolve, right? Like just because you enter the industry in one role doesn't mean that you're always going to be in that role. So I think that would be a good thing for our viewers to see how both of your careers have evolved and gotten you to where you are today.
I guess I can start. We met in the local utility that provides incentives and rebates in the DC area. So we looked at projects in commercial, residential buildings and figure out ways that they could save energy, calculate those energy savings, and give them money back for those energy projects. So now we are on the other side, me as the installer, and Mansi on the side of the customer. And it's a good perspective, like working in the utility provider and with incentives and rebates. It gives you an idea how they work, and now it has helped me a lot understanding how programs in the rest of the country work. And now we're helping our customers to apply for those incentives and rebates, not only helping them save energy, but to figure out those rebates that are available with the utilities to help them a little bit with the project costs.
Awesome. Mansi, anything to add there?
No, I think Stephanie covered everything. And it's nice to work in different capacities together. working on as many energy projects as possible. Was with owners was at times frustrating because projects would not go through, and so now it's nice to be on the other side and create impact in implementing those projects and trying to eliminate those barriers.
Awesome. Now, Stephanie, through our conversations, first, it's so cool to see the final product because we were, all of us, on set, putting together all the bits and pieces and making this beautiful, like glamorous looking photo when it was definitely anything but when we were making it. So it's super cool to see that. But through our conversations, it seemed like you didn't always imagine that you'd be actually in the construction industry, Stephanie, right? Like what was your first career out of school, and like what did you think that you would be when you were going to grow up versus where you are now?
That's a good question. Well, my background is in industrial and systems engineering. I thought I was going to be working in the manufacturing industry. And I did a lot of internships when I was in my undergrad. And actually, that was my first job, an electronic manufacturing company in Mexico. And I think what led me to the construction industry was just like a very gradual change. I was very interested in seeing all the electronic waste that the manufacturing plant produced, like from defective product or product that customers returned, and we had to figure out like where to send it, supposedly to a recycling company. But I was very skeptical, like, are they really recycling or where are they sending it? So when I came to the US for my master's in engineering management and with concentration in energy and in environment, fun fact, Mansi and I started the same master's in GW. So we have that background in common. I was very interested in seeing the environmental impact of whatever project, and that's what led me to that program. And through classes and internships, I got really interested in the energy side of things. I thought it was a good combination of the why I was looking at those projects, like how the impact in the environment that energy saving has. And then the calculations, like the analytical part of it, I found it very challenging and very interesting. And then the internship that really got me in this area was in GW in the facilities department, exactly where Mansi is the director now. And from there, I got to know about the utility company, and one thing led to another. And now I'm working with Limbach, and I really like the part of seeing where the projects are designed and have a greater impact, like Nancy was saying, but since the project is born, because before I got to see like the final product, and that's what I was really interested in working with Limbach and see a little bit more behind the scenes to make a greater impact on the projects.
Absolutely, like going further upstream and trying to make the impact before something ever hits the built environment. I think that's really smart and really cool. The construction industry does make the most waste of any industry in the world, I believe. So the idea that you're helping in one small way is really amazing, and it's also like big kudos to Limbach for realizing that this was a way that they could serve their clients as well. So awesome. So Mansi, same question to you. Did you always imagine that you'd be in the construction realm, when you were a young girl?
No, my earlier goal was to be in merchant navy because that's what my father was in, and then I wanted to be in Air Force, and that didn't work out either. And then I'm an electrical engineer by training, so I started working as a switchgear design intern. That was my first job, and I didn't quite enjoy the sales part of it, being an engineer, and I wanted to be involved in the project as a whole. So I came to GW to study my master's in project management actually first. And then I was influenced by a number of people to then, start changed my major into engineering management, focusing on energy and environmental studies. And that led to, everything was always a process of elimination for me. And there was always somebody who came along the way to inspire me and carve my path. And so I was in a special class where there's now the Chief Sustainability Officer of GSA. At that time was giving a presentation of LEAD, which had just got started. And that carved my path for first being a lead consultant. And then being a lead consultant, I missed the engineering side of things, just focusing on the energy aspect. So being a lead consultant was very helpful to understand operations and facilities as a whole. And then I moved to just focusing on energy efficiency at DCSU, and now I'm here at GW. So it's always been something that inspired me to get more focused in the energy field.
Wonderful. And for those that are maybe listening that don't know what LEAD is, that is Leadership in Energy Environmental Design or something like that.
That's right. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I am a LEAD AP myself, but I got that. I don't use it anymore. But I do remember it was the early 2000s. That is when it was really taking off. And it is still the number one way that anybody can make sure that they're designing a environmentally friendly building of some sort. So absolutely. I mean, I think it's very interesting too. Like, there's so many people that think of environment and how you can save the environment and how we can impact the world around us beyond just like recycling and those types of things. And a lot of people aren't probably realizing that the construction industry is a place that not only do we make trash, but we can also absolutely help affect the world. So what is some piece of advice that either one of you would give to somebody who's interested in career or interested in saving the world and saving the planet, and what pathways that they should be exploring?
It's a good question. I will say, I think there's no one way to be involved in saving the planet. I don't think you need to make a dramatic change of careers to make it happen. I think it's applicable anywhere. In the construction industry, I think it's growing. So I think there's a lot of opportunity for young people starting their careers. And from what I know so far, there's no undergrad program that you can do like specific to energy and environment. It's usually a minor or a master's program or a certification. So there's like a very broad foundational expertise, like could be any type of engineering, or it doesn't even have to be engineering, even sales, like anywhere. You can prepare yourself. Like there's a million resources out there that you can apply this knowledge, like ways to save energy, ways to impact, do some contribution towards climate change. It doesn't have to be in construction. Like there's a million ways to do it. So I think talking with people helps a lot, like efforts like this one, that you get to know experience from other people and their paths. And we all have different paths. We all have different backgrounds and experiences, but I don't know, it's easy to reach to people, and there's plenty of resources out there.
All right. Well, in fact, there actually is a new major. It's not energy, but there's a new major at the University of, or Frostburg University, that is sustainable construction managers. And I think it's fairly new in the last couple of years. So if anybody is a high school student interested in construction, a degree in something related to the environment, that could be a source that they could check out. So I guess one last thing, like, what is one piece of advice that either one of you would give to younger Stephanie or younger Monsi? Anything that you would like to leave yourself and or the future young women or boys that are watching this now?
Be patient. That's one. And be open-minded. You just never know what comes along your way. There might be times when you think this is how I want to do it, but the world is evolving, policies are changing, new ideas come along the way. Have faith in yourself and the process.
I love that.
I will second the part of being open-minded. I think, as you both heard, you heard from both our experiences, neither of us thought that we will be where we are now. So having an open mind and taking opportunities, even if you have no idea what it's about, like, it's worth trying and figure out if you like it. If you don't like it, try a different way. But things usually don't work the way we plan. So having an open mind and taking opportunities, I think it's a good way to figure out new ways and learning new things.
I love that. It's one of my favorite things to say is do the scary thing, do the thing that that you're unsure of, and I love it. It seems like both of you have done that repeatedly over your careers, and made some leaps of faith that have worked out really well for you. So thank you both for your time in this, but also in your time in making the video. We know that thousands of kids hopefully will see this and be inspired by your journeys to choose a career in the built environment. Before we go, I wanted to thank once again our sponsor, Limbach, again, for your support on making this video. Without your generous support, our work wouldn't be possible. And for any of you watching that would like to be involved with the MCCEI and potentially sponsor your own film, we'll drop a link to a sponsorship form in the comments. There are 1,000,001 ways to engage with us and encourage more people to join the ranks of our industry. And finally, we'd like to thank our video production firm, the Alisana Collective, for doing a fantastic job on this video, as always. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe to our videos so you don't miss our next one. Have a great day.